sometimes some food companies, in order to increase the consumption by consumers, they will put a lot of attractive labels on the food items made with, as I said, like fat free, sugar free, and so on. So even if false labels are present, or if there is misbranding, then also the food is considered to be adulterated. Now, a very good example of misbranding that I'm going to show you is, what is this? Someone can answer. What is this? It is one of our favorite snacks. It is
Maggie.
Maggie. Yes, very good. It is Maggie, right? And I'm sure all of you, everyone who is watching this, should have or might have eaten Maggie at some point in their life. But did you know that in 2015, Maggie was actually banned all over India? It was banned. Nobody was allowed to eat Maggie. Now, why Maggie was banned was because, if you can see here, okay, if you can see here, you can see a small black label they have put as no added MSG. Now, MSG means monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate is actually, it is seen in a lot of foodstuffs, especially in kind of Chinese dishes and all. This chili chicken and all will put MSG. So this the people behind Maggie, that is a company of Maggie, which is Nestle, they said that there is no added MSG in Maggie. They are saying that there is no MSG in Maggie at all. But actually, the Maggie packets did contain MSG. They did add MSG. So what happened was, this commissioner, the food safety commissioner, he did a surprise inspection in the Maggie factories, and he found out that by taking sample and everything, he found out that the Maggie did contain MSG, and that they were doing false advertising or false labeling by saying that there was no added MSG. Actually, there is MSG. And another reason why Maggie was banned was because it contained large quantities of lead. Okay, lead is a toxic metal, it is a poisonous metal, and even that lead was also found in the Maggie during sampling. So, because of these two reasons, Maggie was later banned. Later, the company stated that they apologized, and they now in the packets, if you look at any Maggie packet, they have clearly mentioned it does contain MSG. So, this is an example of food adulteration by means of false labeling. So here they are telling that there is no added MSG, but in reality there was MSG in Maggie. So this is the same thing. They have they have written as no added MSG in the Maggie packets. Now, what is the cause for food adulteration? Why does this food adulteration take place? The reason is very simple, simply for financial reasons, to get more money. Because if you can get a certain amount of money for 1 liter of milk, what these people will do is they will add 1 liter of water into 1 liter of milk, make it 2 liters, and then sell it for double the price. So it is purely for getting more money that people are practicing food adulteration. So the main reason why food adulteration takes place is for financial benefit. Now, let me tell you some common food items which are adulterated. So, chili powder. What can be the substance which is adulterated or which can adulterate chili powder? Usually, it is brick dust. That is, the bricks that we use for construction, they are broken down into pieces and they are mixed with the chili powder. Milk. Milk is one of the most common food items which are adulterated. They'll mix water into milk, chalk powder, soap powder, starch, hydrogen peroxide, and urea. Now, all of these things, when they are added into milk, can cause a lot of harmful effects like food poisoning, heart problems, cancer, vomiting, and nausea. So, nausea means the feeling of vomiting. Cereals like wheat and rice, they are contaminated with mud, soapstone bits, and so on. Turmeric. Now, turmeric is also a very commonly used spice in our kitchens. So as a result, turmeric is also very commonly adulterated. Now, turmeric has a very distinctive yellow color, so it is usually adulterated with aniline dyes, that is a coloring agent, yellow lead salts, methanol yellow, which is again another dye, chalk, and tapioca starch. So all of these give add bulk to the turmeric. So as a result, it is used as an adulterant. Now, black pepper. Black pepper is also adulterated. Can someone tell me what does black pepper look like? Is there any substance that resembles black pepper?
No, ma'am.
I'll show you. It looks like the seeds from the papaya, right? So what people will do is they'll take these papaya seeds, the dried papaya seeds, and add them into the black pepper as a form of adulterant. And cooking oil also. In case of cooking oil is vegetable oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, coconut oil, peanut oil, mustard oil, and so on. So those oils can be used for cooking. What usually people will contaminate it with mineral oils. Now, please remember, mineral oils are not to be used for cooking. Only edible vegetable oils should be used for cooking. And there is another oil known as argamon oil, which is a very poisonous kind of oil, which is very toxic oil that is also mixed with the cooking oil. Now, vegetables and fruits. Vegetables and fruits are usually contaminated with dyes. As I have shown you in the previous slide, watermelon is mixed with certain dyes to bring that beautiful red color, bright red color. They will mix dyes and coloring agents to produce more color. Sometimes they will add artificial ripening agents so that the fruits will become ripe faster. And I'm sure when we are eating apple, we always peel the skin, because we have heard so much news of people coating the apples with wax. Okay. In order to keep the apple looking fresh, so they'll add wax on top of the apple to keep it fresh. All of these are examples of adulteration of vegetables and fruits. And dal. Now, on the left side is the good dal, okay, arhar dal or good dal, nutritious dal, that is healthy. Now, on the right side, you have kesari dal. This dal is actually poisonous. It can cause a lot of health problems. Okay, so please remember, the left side one is the healthy one and the right side one is unhealthy. In next slides, I will tell you how to differentiate between them. And of course, you have sweets. Lot of sweets and snacks. They all contain a lot of bright colors. Bright coloring agents are added into these sweets so as to make them more appealing to children. But what we have seen as this is a very recent news article from February, which states that in cotton candy, the coloring that they are using in cotton candy is actually carcinogenic, which means it can produce cancer. So, what are the health effects of food adulteration? What all problems can arise due to food adulteration? So, it can be minor problems as well as major problems. Minor problems are minor issues that affect our stomach, like fever, nausea, vomiting. You may have stomach pain, you may have diarrhea, and so on. So, those are minor effects, but there are a lot more major effects, because food adulteration is a slow poison. It takes years and years to have an effect. So, major problems can be nervous damage, it can cause paralysis, liver damage, it can cause injuries to the reproductive organs. It can cause cancer and bent knee. So many health effects are there for food adulteration. Now, specifically in children, what does the effect be? So, it can affect the growth and development of the children because they are basically consuming toxic substances. So, it can affect the growth and development. It can cause nutrient deficiencies because adulterated food will not contain the nutrients that it is supposed to contain. Milk, which is adulterated with water, will not contain as much nutrients as pure milk. So, it can cause nutrient deficiencies in children. It can cause damage to the liver, kidney, and gastrointestinal system. It can sometimes contain toxic metals. As we saw in Maggie, lead and all are toxic metals. So it can, many health hazards are associated. Turmeric powder contains lead chromate that can cause paralysis and damage to the brain. Lead, which is added to water and processed foods, can also lead to lead poisoning. It can cause nerve damage, damage to the foot, insomnia, constipation, and mental retardation. And I have already mentioned vegetable oils are often adulterated with mineral oils, and this is very much found to cause cancers. So now, how do you detect food adulteration? Is it possible for us to detect whether a food item is adulterated or not? So that is what we are going to see in this section. But please remember, I have only selected a few food items, not all of it. I will just explain some of the most important ones. So, milk. How will you detect if milk has been adulterated with water? Very simple. Put a drop of milk on a slanting surface, a slanting inclined surface. You put a drop of milk on the top. Now, pure milk is very thick. So it will not flow very fast. It flows very slowly, or it will not flow at all. It will stay there, and when it is flowing, it will leave a white trail behind. When it is flowing, there will be a white trail. Now, if it is adulterated with milk, it becomes thinner. So, as a result, it will flow down faster. So, milk will flow down very slow. Milk contaminated with water will flow very fast. Now, sometimes milk is contaminated with detergents. They will add detergents into the milk. So, how will you find out if detergent has been added to the milk? So, very simple. Take 5 ml of the milk sample and take an equal amount of water. So, 5 ml milk and 5 ml water. Then you mix all of it and shake it very thoroughly, shake it nicely, and then keep it aside for some time. Now, detergent, when you add water to it, what will happen? Bubbles will come. So, you can see in the right side, so many bubbles have been formed here. Whereas in the pure milk, you can see no bubbles have been formed. So, if bubbles are there, it means that your milk has been contaminated with detergent. If not, it is pure milk. Sometimes they will add starch in milk and milk products, both in milk as well as in milk products like paneer and all. So, how will you discover if starch has been added into this? So, this is also very simple. Take the sample. It can either be milk or a piece of paneer. Let us assume. Then you boil it with some amount of water. After boiling it, you add some drops of a chemical substance known as tincture of iodine. So it can be available. So tincture of iodine, you add a few drops. So this is basically you are detecting the presence of starch. So if your milk or milk product contains starch, it will turn blue in color. That means starch is present. If starch is not present, the milk will stay the exact same color. Now, food grains. Food grains and other products, very easy. If you can detect any kind of dust, pebble, stone, etc., you can just keep it in a glass plate and examine visually. So you will be able to see, visually, you will be able to see the grains, dust, pebble, stone, etc. And anyway, we always do this because when we are making rice and everything, we always wash our rice properly and drain out the water. Next is atta, maida, or suji. In atta, maida, and suji, sometimes the shopkeepers may add iron filings. So, how will you detect iron filings? So, we know that iron is magnetic. So, we will take a magnet and we will slowly move the magnet through the flour. So, if it is pure atta, nothing will happen to the magnet. But if iron filings are present, they will immediately get attracted to the magnet and it will be stuck on the magnet. Next is this dal, which I had shown you earlier. So you can see that there are two types of dal. The left side dal is known as arhar dal. That is the dal which is healthy and nutritious for us. Whereas the one on the right is known as kesari dal, and it can cause a lot of problems. Now, if you look carefully, you can see that kesari dal is perfectly round in shape. It is perfectly round in shape and has lighter color as compared to kesari dal. Kesari dal, on the other hand, is somewhat having a square appearance, not round but square. So, if you see any kind of dal with a square appearance rather than a round appearance, please don't eat it because that is kesari dal. It is not healthy, it is actually toxic. Spices and condiments. So, how will you detect adulterated spices and condiments? So, let us see how we can detect dyes in chili powder. So, chili powder, as you know, it is very bright red in color. So, in order to get more consumers, shopkeepers often add, not only shopkeepers, the producers, they will add a lot of red colored dye into the chili powder. So, how will you detect this? So you first sprinkle the chili powder on the surface of water taken in a glass tumbler. So usually if it is pure chili powder, it will stay on the top of the water. Whereas if it contains any kind of dye, it will immediately start descending. You can see clear streaks below. The dye starts dissolving in water and you can see some colored streaks. So the one on the left is the pure one. If you see any colored streaks, it means it is contaminated. Now, how will you detect papaya seeds in black pepper? So, take the black pepper that you have, you add it to a glass of water. If it is pure black pepper, it will slightly heavier, so it will settle at the bottom of the glass. It will easily settle at the bottom of the glass. But if it is papaya seeds, it will float on the surface of water. So, papaya seeds will float, the black pepper will settle at the bottom. Vegetables. So often, in many cases, the fruits and vegetables are made more colorful by adding dyes and other coloring agents. So, in order to detect the artificial color on green peas, you take a small amount of green peas, add it into a transparent glass, add water to it, and mix well. Then you let it stand for half an hour. After half an hour, if you see that the water is green in color, it means that dye or coloring agent has been added. Usually, after you wash the vegetables, the water will be clear only. But if it contains any greenish coloration, it means that dye has been added. Then other green vegetables also, like bitter gourd, green chili, and so on, they'll add some dyes like malachite green, which is it is a name of a coloring agent. So what you will do? How will you detect if it contains this dye? Take a cotton piece and simply soak it in water. Then rub the outer green surface of the chili or the bitter gourd or whatever it is. Slowly rub the green surface. If the cotton is turning green in color, it means that it is adulterated with dye. Site. So, first of all, there is a governmental organization, that is the Food Standards and Safety Authority of India. So, they are the main government authority who is responsible for maintaining the proper food safety in our country. This is the website of FSSAI, fssai.gov.in. So if you I know that all of the methods that I have said it very fast. So if you want to know more, and if you want to know more about these, and if you want to see the tests being performed, you can go to the FSSAI YouTube channel, where they have all of the tests that I have described and even more. They are even testing watermelon and everything. All the tests can be seen in this YouTube channel. So now, what precautions do we follow in order to prevent adulteration? So these are some of the safety steps we should take in order to avoid adulteration. So avoid dark colored junk and other processed foods. Very bright colored foods we should avoid, because obviously they will contain the coloring agents. Make sure to clean and store all the grains and pulses and other food products. Wash fruits and vegetables thoroughly. Clean them very thoroughly under running water. And if it is something, some fruits and vegetables like apple and all, you can always peel the outer layer, because always, as I mentioned, they may be adulterated by putting wax on top of it. And when you are buying any packaged food items like milk, oil, and so on, always make sure that it is sealed, that it is not, the seal is not broken, or if it is puffy or leaking, you should not buy that product. And always make sure to buy products which are having an FSSAI validated label. I will come to that later, along with the expiration date. So whenever you are buying a packaged food item, make sure that it contains the expiry date. Other precautions are always buy food from reputed shops, shops that you trust. Always buy items from reputed shops, dine at reputed restaurants, and always better to avoid buying adulterated soft drinks. Better than that, it is always best to have fresh fruit juice. And you should always be concerned about items like chocolates and sweets, because they'll contain a lot of dyes and coloring agents. So you should always make sure it is of a good quality, it is a good quality brand, and always make sure that it is within the expiry date. Always check the packaging is intact, and spread awareness in the local community as well. So now let us know a little bit about reading food labels. So whenever we go to the grocery store or wherever we are going to the supermarket, we will see a lot of food items. So before buying any kind of food item, make sure to read the food labels. So let us see what all is there in a food label. So this is a basic food label of refined sunflower oil. So you can see on the left side, there is nutritional facts. So per 100 gram, what all things are there in that particular 100 gram of refined sunflower oil? So how much energy, how much protein, how much carbohydrate, sugar, cholesterol, how much vitamin A, vitamin D, and so on. So all of the details will be written in the nutritional facts. So, what are the logos you should look for? So, for all packaged foods and beverages, the FSSAI logo you have to look for. If it does not contain an FSSAI label, do not buy it. It has not been approved of by the government. So, always look for this label. Then for packaged drinking water and certain processed foods, you will have something known as an ISI logo. So this is the second one is the ISI logo. And the third one is the AgMark logo. AgMark is only meant for agricultural products, not processed food items, but agricultural products. So please remember these three logos, FSSAI, ISI, and AgMark. Now, the two logos here, I'm sure everyone is familiar with. The green color suggests it is vegetarian. The red means it is non-vegetarian. Now, below this, you can see another food logo. This is F+. Now, F plus means fortified. So, I'll go back to the previous slide. You can see that this refined sunflower oil, below that main red heading, you can see fortified with vitamin A and D. Now, fortification is different from adulteration. Adulteration means you are adding something which reduces the quality of the food substance. That is adulteration. But fortification means you are improving the quality of something by adding something nutritious. So, in this case, this refined sunflower oil is fortified. That is, its quality is improved by adding vitamin A and D. So, all fortified food items will have this F plus symbol. It means that it has been fortified by adding some kind of nutrients. Below the ingredients list, they will put allergen declaration. That is, does it contain any allergic components? For example, not all of us can eat peanuts. Some people are allergic to peanuts. So they'll write down the product contains nuts so that people with nut allergies can avoid buying this product. And finally, the date and name and complete address of the manufacturer will also be written just below that. So coming back to my earlier example, so I went to the supermarket, I bought chili powder, milk and salt, all of it turned out to be adulterated. What can I do next? So for this, you have a website. I want all of you to, if possible, to take a screenshot or a snapshot of this, because this is a website that can help us to file a complaint against any kind of food item that is adulterated. So this stands for the Food Safety Connect website of the FSSA. FSSA is our government body. So this stands for the Food Safety Connect component of the website. So when you click on this, this is what comes up. So this is what comes up when you click on that website. So Food Safety Connect website. So now I will show you how to register. Just a second. Okay. So how do you register in this? So before filing a complaint, you have to first register into this website. So you have to go to so this is the website that I was talking about, the Food Safety Connect website. Click here on register. Click here on register. So when you click on register, what is going to happen is this will come. A pop-up will come and you have to write your mobile number. After writing your mobile number, you will get an OTP. That OTP you have to enter here. Then you enter your name and create a password for this. So then once you click submit, you will successfully be registered into this. You'll be registered into this Food Connect. Then how do you lodge a complaint? So the same procedure again. So instead of registering, you directly log in because you've already registered. So log in first. Then in the menu, go to register new complaint. So you're going to register a new complaint. Then I don't have the picture of that. You have to click on what product you bought. What was the complaint that you have? Was it adulterated? Was it beyond the expiration date? Did it contain some substance which was not mentioned in the label? Was there misbranding? Was there false labeling? Was the expiry date not mentioned? So whatever complaint you have to write in that in the drop down menu. And you have to mention when you bought it, and if possible you can take a photo of the adulterated food product, and that also you can post. Then you have to select the food business operator. Food business operator means which company did you buy the product from. Now many of these many companies will be mentioned here, but sometimes the company may not be mentioned. Then in that case you have to click on other FBO. Then finally, after entering all of the details correctly, you click on submit button, and you will get a ticket number. So you should always remember this ticket number, because it will help you to track what has happened to your complaint. So at the end of the complaint, what is going to happen is the FSSAI, which is the government body, they will receive this complaint, and they will assign an officer. If a designated officer will be there, and this officer will go to the particular shop or to the particular company, collect some samples, and if it is found to be adulterated, they can fine the business, they can fine the company. And another method to complain about any kind of food adulteration is this toll-free number. You can take a snapshot of this also. This number you can call directly, and you can talk about your concerns or your complaints about any kind of food adulteration. So, I would like to end this session by saying that safe food is essential for all of us, and that it is not something which is confined to a few people. It is everyone's business. So, we should ensure safe food now for a healthy tomorrow. So, if you do find any kind of adulterated food, please make sure to complain, and please make sure that food safety is everyone's business. Thank you.
And this time I'm very happy because many kids are eagerly watching your presentation, and some of them are writing down the main points like in an online class. So I am very glad in that. So that it is mainly because of beauty of your presentation. You did it in a very simple and very easily understandable manner. Bhavya, many students I saw, many kids are writing and watching continuously. I'm very happy for that. And this is the time for a small interaction. I welcome all dear participants, especially our small kids. If you have any queries, you can ask the doctor, or you can type in the chat box. Over to the participants.
Chemicals added in milk. Mostly the chemicals which are added in milk are usually water. Water is the usual adulterant. Other than that, they might add detergents, or as we mentioned the others, specifically other chemicals, usually they will add detergent because it looks similar to milk. So that, as I explained in the slide, you can simply add some water into the sample and mix it thoroughly. If any kind of bubbles are forming on the surface of the milk, it means it is contaminated. So I hope that answers your question.
Hope it is clear.
Hope it is clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Logo Tirtha Vivek for a vote of thanks. I welcome Grandmaster Tirtha Vivek.
Good evening all, I'm Tirtha Vivek. I'm so happy to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of OFSSA to respected MLA Srimati Uma Thomas and Dr. Nasir PM and Dr. Nasreen PM for providing us with the valuable information on food adulteration impact on child health. I also would like to thank all of the national and state leaders and coordinators for organizing this national webinar. The success of this webinar is definitely the participants. I thank each and everyone joined in this national webinar and I request your continued participation in all upcoming webinars. Let our webinar series to be the milestone to build our nation healthy. Vande Mataram GFSA.